All right, as Natalie just mentioned, we're going to continue the conversation about mental health this morning. Our next guests say that in the face of rising suicide rates and significant increases in the rates of depression and anxiety, America is facing a true mental health crisis. Here to tell us more, including how to change it, is Dr. Anthony Hassan, Chief Executive Officer and President of Cohen Veterans Network, and Linda Rosenberg, President and CEO of National Council for Behavioral Health. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
So I understand, let's start here, that there was a recent survey, and I do think it's important to kind of, I guess, to get the best pulse of what's actually going on. Tell us what this survey revealed and what you guys find is most interesting this morning.
Yeah, so it revealed that we do have a mental health crisis in America, primarily around access, but it really supported Linda and I's professional opinion and experiences. And as I've been traveling across the country, establishing Cohen military family clinics, I realized that we do have an access problem. I've spoken with many patients who would tell me that they couldn't find care, they couldn't access care, they couldn't pay for care. I've got providers that I'm talking to all the time who have high caseloads and frankly are burnt out. And then we have CEOs who have to run these large mental health systems across the country and have huge demands, but the resources and the reimbursements that they have just aren't adequate enough for them to even survive, more or less thrive. So Linda and I thought maybe we need to hear from Americans across the country. So we polled 5,000 and we've got some good news, Linda.
Right. The good news is stigma is no longer the #1 issue. There still is social stigma, but not to the extent there was, which is a sea change. But 66% of Americans have looked for care for themselves or a loved one. 76% of Americans believe that mental health is important as physical health, but the #1 problem to getting the treatment they're looking for is really cost and where to go.
So how on earth do we change that? How do we help families?
Yeah, it's tough, you know. So one way is creating the awareness that you're helping us create today, but it's also making sure that everybody understands what mental illness is, but to also know that if you get help, these are effective treatments that can make you feel better and lead more productive lives after treatment. So we need to get the word out that treatment does work.
Right. We have mental health first aid courses being given in local communities that teach people what to do in a crisis and where they can go if they do need professional help. We have philanthropy stepping up.
Yeah, so Stephen A. Cohen is our visionary and philanthropist who helped establish the Cohen military family clinics across the country that we're building. And that $275 million that Mr. Cohen put up is to do exactly what we're talking about: reduce barriers to care, free care, accessible care, quality care, care that's accessible via telehealth for those in rural areas. So I believe that we need to look at philanthropy as one of the solutions to kind of make these organizations financially whole so they can do more and they can be more and they can be more available. But philanthropy alone can't do it. I know that, but philanthropy is one way of doing it.
And longer term, we need to take community mental health clinics and addiction centers and turn them into community behavioral health clinics where people in every community can get the care that they need. And we're working with Congress and the administration on that. And we need the public to know of that and to help us with that. The other thing is there has been a parity law since 2008. Insurance companies need to pay for mental health the way they do for all physical conditions. People need to understand that and demand that of their insurance companies.
Well, we need more people with the passion that you guys have as well. Where would you send people to find out more information and to get on board with this?
Certainly. They can go to the CohenVeteransNetwork.org.
And they can go to the nationalcouncil.org.
All right. Thank you both for your time this morning. I know this is very important.
Thank you.